Hello there. I want to take you into a training in progress around how the humanized leader listens. So, there are several aspects to the listening curriculum that we will be exploring together. This is one major framework that identifies pitfalls when people don't listen well and provides a pathway to listening really effectively. So, let's join the training that's already in progress.
Listening path. And if you remember the acronym that we have worked on, and those of you who are new to this, put this right in your hip pocket with your toolkit. It's HUIR. The listening path has the acronym HUIR. You're going to see it here in a box, in a four square. The very first thing that happens in a listening situation is that you hear the physical sound of noise. Somebody has opened their mouth and you hear the wah, 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 and you realize somebody is talking to you. Here's what generally happens. When we hear the noise, we make an assumption that we know what the conversation is about, or we have history with that person, thinking that we've had this conversation before, or we're moving so fast and furious that we go right from hearing to responding. And we eliminate the right side of this foursquare. So hearing to responding puts you in the world of fixed mindset. There's no ability to grow beyond this because you've just interrupted the relational part of listening. You're not in relationship anymore. You're in transaction. I want you to hear that again. You're not in relationship anymore. You're in transaction when you go from hearing to responding without anything in the middle that tracks you into the trust part of building the relationship. So you go into a fixed mindset, which is, I also call it certainty. This is, the nun in me, certainty. I'm not a nun, by the way, but that aspect of us that are, that we feel we know the answer puts us in from hearing to respond, and there's no ability to grow. Ooh, that's really sad. The right-hand side is where the juice is, and this is what I want you to understand. This is about having a growth mindset, and another word for that is curiosity. So when I hear the noise, wah, 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 and I understand someone is conveying a message to me, I have a responsibility to be on this place of open-mindedness and curiosity. And the understanding part of it says, I am curious about you and what your message is. So since I've heard the noise and I've turned my attention to you, I now have a responsibility to stick in the conversation to understand what you're trying to tell me in the words and below the words. Remember listening for facts and feelings? You're going to understand from in the words and below the words, because sometimes underneath the words is the real message you need to understand. And then the rest of the juice gets wrung out of it when you go down into the I. And the I is interpreting. So if the you is understanding, I'm curious about you, the interpreting is, I'm curious about me. So I'm willing to take a look at where I'm judging or making assumptions, or where I'm using our past history to not be in this conversation with you, or I'm using somebody else's opinion to say, oh, I already know your story, so I don't need to listen anymore. The interpretation part of it is, how am I showing up in this relationship of conversation? And how do I clean my filters so I'm here now, present with you, in relationship with you, and willing to be curious about where this conversation is going? That is the skill of listening. That's what I want you to get. You get nothing else out of this conversation. You must understand that when you hear the noise and you turn to the noise, you need to understand the message. When you want to understand the message, you got to clean your filters so you are here now. And then, only then, can you move to responding, because you're going to be responding truthfully